مشاهدينا الكرام، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. نرحب اليوم بسعادة السفير البريطاني هنا في مجمع الشروق في الندوة الدولية للتواصل في اللغة الإنجليزية في القرن 21، والذي سيحدثنا عن واقع وآفاق تدريس اللغة الإنجليزية هنا بالجزائر. أهلا بكم سعادة السفير.
Hello, good morning, Excellency, and nice to see you here in our exhibition. Yes, just let's starting with the first question. What do you think about this conference today? What do you can tell us about this conference today?
I think it's a really exciting conference. The fact that we've got 1,000 teachers of English here in Oran from all over the country, from Bashar and Elisi and Tamanrasset and Annaba, you know, all points of the compass are here. This is about teaching teachers to be better teachers so that Algerians of all walks of life will get stronger English in a very, very short time.
The British Council office will open soon as an ambassador of United Kingdom here in Algeria. How important will be this event for the opening?
Well, the British Council will have its official opening next week. As you say, we've already started teaching people in the centre, but more than that, we're teaching teachers to teach Algerian children through the school system, and I think that's the most important thing that we're doing. 7 million Algerian school kids who are learning English through teachers whose professional development is being helped by the British Council, and we have 350 teachers here supplied from the Ministry of National Education who are here to become even better and more effective teachers of English and to inspire their pupils. I thought there was one phrase I saw today which I thought was a really good phrase, was enjoy your teaching, because if you don't, who will? And I think that in a way is what this conference is all about, is to harness the enthusiasm that we've already got from these teachers to sort of strengthen it and send them back into the classrooms so that English becomes the language that Algeria speaks with real confidence.
Excellency, how the non-native speakers, English speakers, can get the academic English?
I think academic English, he was talking about the academic English of English as a subject. So it was the language of linguistics. I think there are lots of different academic Englishes. If you are writing a medical paper, you need academic medical English. But I think at that stage we're talking at a very, very high level of English competency, essentially within the tertiary sector and the research sector in Algeria. So I think it's obviously got its place, but it's a relatively small proportion of the overall market. But one of the other slides I saw today in English about academic English, I didn't understand because I have never used academic English.
After the UK Prime Minister visit Mr. David Cameron here in Algeria, what are the goals achieved since this visit?
There might be obstacles, there are always challenges, but what I see around me is great improvements. And I mentioned confidence. I find a lot of the Algerians I speak to are more confident today about using their English than when I got here nearly a year ago. We started a press conference in the embassy last week in French, and we ended it entirely in English. Even the journalists who said, I speak no English, suddenly actually had enough that they could understand what we were talking about. And I think, you know, a lot of Algerians feel that they haven't got the opportunity to practice. I think that lack of practice means lack of confidence, but actually they've got the knowledge. And they should just use that and use English more frequently, even with each other. I know one member of the Assemblée Populaire Nationale who speaks English at home with her daughter. You know, that's self-help, that's real commitment, and that's what will make the real difference in a very fast time for this great country.
Mr. Noble, we heard you in the press conference about, telling us about the numbers of scholarship. Do you tell us more about this scholarship which the British Embassy give it for the Algerian PhD or professors or students?
Well, this isn't a British government scholarship. This is the Algerian Ministry of Higher Education, which signed an agreement last year or 18 months ago with Lord Risby on behalf of the British government to send up to 100 PhD candidates a year to the UK to do their PhDs on English. And we're now in the second year of selection for that. So there are some people already doing it in the UK, and now we're preparing for the second tranche of students at that level. And the increase in numbers of well-qualified candidates is very, very clear. And I think by the end of the 5-year period of this agreement, we will be seeing 100 a year going, and some tough competition for those places. You know, it is a barometer of how things are improving. And I think we'll look back on those 5 years and say that's one way of measuring the improvements.
Excellency, we have seen you recently in Hydrocarbons University in Boumardès. How can we develop the cooperation between the two countries or the two institutions here the cooperation between institutions here in Algeria?
I'm sure there are lots of opportunities. We certainly see that a whole range of British universities are now very aware of Algeria's wishes and needs in education and in English. So there's an audience there. I think one of the things which is rather special about the relationship that Robert Gordon University has with Sonatrach is that it's Sonatrach led. You know, Sonatrach decided what it needed in terms of professional skills at an international level and English language skills, and it set up the relationship with RGU, and for 10 years they've been working extremely effectively in Boumardès. Robert Gordon University is now talking to others about developing teaching capacity in Algeria, and I'm very excited by that. But it really needs to be Algeria-led. You know, if the requests come and Algeria decides that we need this sort of expertise within our école supérieure or whatever, actually then think, how do we recruit Anglophone, not just British, but Anglophone personnel to that slot? I think that's a way that you can get a lot of know-how into Algerian institutions, and I look forward to that becoming an everyday occurrence.
Excellency, in my childhood, I remember TV program is Follow Me. For you, as an ambassador of United Kingdom, how media and journalism play a role to improve the English language here in Algeria?
Well, I have to say nobody would believe you were 38, but you know, Follow Me has clearly done you good over the years. We already, the British Council launched several months ago a soap opera through Algerian radio. It's not exactly Follow Me, it's something different. But remember, when Follow Me was there wasn't the internet. There wasn't the huge range of resources which is available to every 11-year-old Algerian. And I bet you that there's an awful lot of young Algerians accessing English language material that their parents don't know about. So there is a role for doing things through terrestrial media. There's an awful lot being done via the social media. We, as an embassy, are working with Algerian radio, but also with other newspapers and television stations on their professional development. But there's no limit to what can be done if people want it and facilitate it. I think creating the conditions for these things might sometimes be what people need to focus on rather than just identifying the need. You know, it's how do I then go about filling my need?
Finally, Excellency, what are your suggestions to the Algerian people for the development of the English language here in Algeria?
Well, we had the first talk in this excellent conference was about listening.
Excellency, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much indeed.
And we hope to see you in the near future.
Inshallah.
مشاهدينا الكرام، لا يسعنا في ختام هذا اللقاء إلا أن نتقدم بالشكر الجزيل لسعادة السفير البريطاني بالجزائر أندرو نوبل. فإلى اللقاء إلى مواعيد أخرى.